So what do you do after you win a Formula One race? Take a ride in the fire engine, of course. And what would a pass in the grandstands be without stopping at Section 3?
Watching the airplanes, and it's just fun.
What's your favorite airplane?
Jelly Belly, and my most favorite of all is Glacier Girl.
We take a week's vacation every year just to come participate in the air races. We haven't missed a year since 1995.
Sitting in Section 3?
Oh yeah, we always sit in Section 3. That's the only time that we all get back together to visit is during the air races.
Been coming out here since 1986. Bringing my son Colin over there with me, and fascination with aviation, and we like the rare bear and the occasional Mustang as well.
So how was it going for the ride?
Good.
Fun.
Sweet.
All worth. Make another pass.
Yeah.
Round of races. Very nice. Simple.
I think we're going to do it again next year.
Off the camera.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. It's a good race. A lot of fun. One bronze.
And this was the best part of it?
This fire truck ride was the best part of it. Worth the wait. Hope I get to do it again next year.
It's a 1917 American LaFrance, built in Elmira, New York. The city of Reno purchased 3 new trucks in 1917, this chemical car, a pumper, and a ladder truck. All 3 trucks are still in the Reno area, 2 of which are in private hands. This truck is at the National Automobile Museum in Reno. It's part of the Hera Foundation. The truck served in the city of Reno from 1917 through 1949. We have photographs of this truck fighting fires as late as 1946. In 1949, Mr. Hera purchased the truck from the city of Reno. It was in the Hera Automobile Collection from 1949 until 1982. It was transferred to the National Automobile Museum then and has been in our collection ever since. Mr. Hera used it as a rolling bandstand. He carried a Dixieland band on it. We have photographs of many of the entertainers that performed at the Hera casinos on this truck.
And how long has it been used in the air races to take the winners around?
This is my 5th year driving the truck. Probably 7-8 years now that I can think of.
And what does it do during the off season? Just at the museum, or is
during
it
the off season? It spends its quiet time on display at the museum, but it's also brought out for many local parades for politicians and city folks and that sort of thing too. Next time the truck may be out would possibly be for the Veterans Day parade in November.
What kind of maintenance do you have to do on it?
Oh gosh, besides maintaining the coolant levels and the oil levels on the beast, it's pretty easy really. Change to lubricate, tires to keep up, that sort of thing. But no electronics to speak of to worry about. So most things that do have problems, we end up having to send out to be repaired. So that could be time consuming and a little costly at times. So
what's the difference between flying the course and taking a ride in the fire engine?
Fire engine's probably a little faster than the airplane.
So it was a good ride with John Hall in the fire engine and the winner of the Formula race this morning. Wanted to talk with John a little bit about what it's like to be in general aviation as well as race in the Formula class. John, the Formula One class is probably closest to the plane and pilot audience for general aviation. How did you get into the sport, and what's the best advice that you can give the viewers?
It is very close. The airplanes we fly are primarily Cassets, which there's a lot of Cassets out there flying in the sport world. We call it the Formula class because it has to meet, it's an 0200 Continental engine, basically a stock engine, minimum wing square footage requirements, but with minor modifications you can take your everyday bread and butter Casset and bring it out to Reno and race it during race week and have a lot of fun. My racing history, I started out as a fan. I came to Reno and watched the races just like everybody else and wandered around the pits and started looking for an opportunity maybe to get into the racing directly, and I saw Formula One as probably the most cost-effective opportunity to get into air racing, and it is. Since I've become involved in it, I find out some additional things that makes it very interesting. It's the longest running, continuously running series in air racing. We had our 66th anniversary this year, I think.
So you go back to the first race?
We go back way back into Cleveland, and even the Unlimiteds have not been racing that long. So Formula One is the longest. So there's a very rich history to Formula One that makes it that much more fun, and the people that participate are like families, and the family comes here and meets once or twice a year. And we certainly meet every September here for the Reno Air Races, and many of us come back every June for what's called a pylon racing seminar, and either practice or qualify.
So what do you need to transition from your standard GA airplane, you know, your four-place, take the family around, to this?
You know, it's a tail dragger, so first of all, you've got to have that tail wheel experience. It's a high-performance tail dragger, so we have higher takeoff and approach speeds. It's not a short-field airplane, it's not a bush airplane, but you know, anybody that's competent to fly a Pitts or an Extra wouldn't have any problem transitioning into a typical Formula One class airplane. I fly an RV-8 a lot, and when I start getting ready for the Reno Air Races, I go out and practice in my RV-8, and then I come out here and hop in my casset and go race, and it's a pretty easy transition.
And then there's also in June, there's PRS.
Yeah, June is what they call rookie school. Everybody that races has to qualify, take a check ride, get a racing license, and part of that is attending PRS, Pilot Racing Seminar, in June. And all 6 classes come out here, so it's Formula One all the way up to the jet class. And you can come out and practice, which is what I do every year. I come out and practice just to get laps on the course. And if you need to qualify or requalify, you can do that during the June session as well.
From the Reno Air Races in 2009, I'm Mark Chiolis for Plane and Pilot.